Okay, welcome team. Welcome. We're back with a new video actually. So we're here first with a new video. This is a preview of SANDUSTRY, which is coming out in about a week's time. So in fact, exactly a week's time. So if you're watching the live stream, it will be in a week's time. It will be available. An amazing little game. Game I've really been looking forward to. Actually, it's sort of funny. I had some misgivings about it because I thought that the maps weren't all that random, but I've since reread the instructions that I was given, and I can now see, okay, when the preview version is one map, and but there is actually a whole lot of different things you can do. So we're going to start from scratch and just sort of work our way through it. It's a game that is, it's a bit loud actually. I'll just go to options. The music, where is the audio? Put the music volume down a little bit. I'll leave all the other bits and pieces on fairly high, I think. But this is a really cool game. It's a game that I've actually been... the concept of it really excites me a lot. And so I've sort of been... oops, hang on, I've got a... I didn't change my settings, sorry guys. I'm just going to have to change that. Just bear with me. I have screwed up when it comes to Twitch because I'm playing the wrong game there. Let me just go back across. I didn't even set Twitch up. Oh my God, what am I thinking? Here we go. Let's start this one again. Just bear with me, and I'll just quickly put it in here. I got so excited. I've been rushing to try to get to show this. SANDUSTRY Preview. And I will just put in the description. So it is, it literally is Factorio, sort of, meets Terraria, meets Powder Toy, which is a game I love. I love it. It's sort of, it's not even a game. It's a, it is literally a sandbox, because it is what am I doing? SANDUSTRY. Oh, that's okay. I was actually on. I can't do two things at once, so we are going to play SANDUSTRY in here. That should come up. Yeah, a lot of people are watching the previews. Okay, let's go. Let's just leave that one there. All right, so there we go. That should now change things over a little bit. So it's coming out in a week's time. That should all be fine, I think. I think everything's there. Still currently in development at this time, but it will be launching, as I said, in about a week's time. Interesting little things, even just in the logo, you can sort of see that there's different aspects coming in with this powder or the sand sort of inspired game. So different things will actually happen as they hit. So you can see that there's like fire in through here, for example, which hits certain things and sort of doesn't do much. This is sand back in through this other side. You've got little things that throw sand all over the place. You've got conveyor belts. I'll get into it so we can actually just go and play it, but it's a very cool game. So let's just go into new. So we'll start a new game. Now there will be game seeds, which I'm really excited about. And I couldn't figure out why I could only ever play one map, but that's because the preview is locked to one map. It doesn't matter what I put into here as such. So yeah, it may even say it in here somewhere. No, it doesn't actually. So I won't take it all as my thing, but you do actually have a random seed. You've got world names, whatever you want to do through there. I'll just generate the world, which will be exactly the same world that I've been playing, like as I've been testing the game. I've had the game for about a week, and I've put a lot of hours into it just to play it, because I really love the idea of it. It's a game that it doesn't cost you anything to build anything, which is unusual as well. Like, it really is interesting. So we'll just go through. This is a mission brief. So Archon Pry, the Sentinel Command. Welcome, Prospector. I'm Archon Pry, Orbital Overseer of the Helodyne Sand Survey Program. Positive probe telemetry has greenlit an on-site sand survey of PX47 to assess gold yield potential. So I'm guessing that there will be other focuses with some of the other random maps in the future. So objective, extract sand and build an initial gold production factory. Confirm mission. So in this case, we just need, this is essentially a tutorial as well. And you have to sort of go through step by step. So this is Flight Officer Zoe, your orbital operation support. I'll guide you through the mission, but first things first, drop pod is locked on trajectory and cleared for dispatch, ready when you are. Launch. Okay, here we go. So we come down to the planet. This is us. Okay, so we move with WASD. We just quickly go and do that. We can hold the mouse button to dig. So we can just sort of dig like this. Got to do 5. There we are. Actually, I should skip the tutorial. Just skip the tutorial. Just get into it. So what we need to do is we have objectives. So you know the drill. Dig and refine sand into gold, so we can judge it if the rock is worth a full build out. So meet factory processing targets to raise viability and unlock more tech to push the operation further. And so we need to reach factory level 2. I'll just go through what the game has got. I'll just click on next. This show high sonic activity in the dune wakes of class Colossus entities, designated Col O, but levels remain within acceptable parameters. So there's other things on this particular thing. Nothing dangerous. This is actually a great game for kids, I would say. There's no violence that I can sort of see at all. The build, it's like a creative build because there's nothing. There's nothing that stops you from doing anything. Like you can actually just build whatever you like. And it is actually one of these things where you're trying to build as efficiently as possible. You do have different sorts of resources. You'll see down the bottom here, I've got like a shovel. I've also got a grabber, and I've also then got a shaker. That's what we start with. What we need to do is we need to shake 4,000 sand into gold, essentially. So we need to extract the wet sand into gold. And then we also have other goals like reach factory tier 2. This is that. Then secondary, we need to unlock hover. So we don't actually have that yet in the tech tree. If I go across into here, the toolbox is the things that we have available to do, like this with everything. So at the moment, we only have the shovel and the grabber. We'll get the other things very, very quickly as we sort of move forward. Building-wise, we actually have, right from the very, very start, a shaker. And it tells you quite succinctly on the right-hand side there, place wet sand on the shaker to refine it automatically into gold. And residue should be built diagonally to allow natural throughput. So there's actually, you'll see even on that little graphic, there's gold falling through, and then there's residue left over. The residue is not useless, but you end up with a lot of it, and you end up with a lot of gold as well. Blocks, so you're building blocks. Again, there's no resources required to build any of this stuff, which is really cool. It means that if you need to refine something, you just delete it all and just start building again. It's very, very cool. And then this is the gold collector. That's all we have at the start. Research-wise, this is what we end up having. We need to then go and spend gold to go and get logistics, which unlocks the conveyor belt and the launcher, which will be important. And then we also have hover, which is one of the things we need to build over through here. We need to find a resource called Fluxite, which actually unlocks other things as well. That unlocks the upgrades. So you mine Fluxite to unlock the upgrades. So we'll get to that fairly soon. So that's sort of like all we really need to do, and we just need to upgrade the grabber as well, which will be one of these. We've got the filter, we've got the logistics, hover, sprint, map, flare gun. Actually, it must be, I wonder where the upgrade the grabber is. Not sure where that may be an upgrade there. Yeah, upgrades would be in that one through there. So let's get started and sort of rip into it. So I'll just press escape. So what we need to do is we need to end up getting sand into here. And I can just go into water. There's no real problem here. I can just go and dig whatever I need to sort of dig. This is all just sort of sand in this little location. Let's just dig it out a little bit. So we have a bit of work to do initially. You'll see there that the sand is definitely a different color on the top, whereas the sand underneath is a bit different. And I can sort of just keep on coming back up. I'll just go and dig all this out. It is a bit easier with the hover once you've actually got that. So, and I can end up just being on top of everything else as well. Just got to make sure you don't leave any little 1 pixel things. It will sort of stop you from moving around a little bit. Or one grain of sand. There's one there, for example. There we go. So you can see down through here, we've got wet sand in here, and then and we do actually have a shaker as well. So let's just go and build our first little gold resource. We also have like a big lake of water back over this other side as well that we'll need to get into. And so this will ultimately be our main factory. So I might as well build my gold over through here. Now I've got all this sky to play with, so I can build whatever I like in the sky. And so make good use of the sky when you're playing the game. I'm just going to go across to the build menu and just go and bring the blocks into, I might just make it into level 0, which I'm thinking I'm just on the side of it. That's okay. Other little things that we've got, like you can sort of build into like a radial mode for a short period of time. You'll see that when we come back in. You can select different items. You can delete items with the X key. You can pick up items with the F key, and you can use a ruler with the V key. So if I'm sort of trying to plan something, I can sort of see where things line up quite nicely with just using the V key, which is quite good. I'm just going to press 0 and just start to sort of then build our first sort of. Now you don't want a small gold. You're going to be ultimately mining a hell of a lot of gold. So you can see there when I go to there, it goes beyond. I can no longer rotate. Up to that point, I can rotate around. So the little indicator sort of shows what you can then go and do. Let's just go and build it to there. I'll just build, and again, this costs nothing at all to do this. So I'll just go up and build that into there. So this will be like for our gold and. Again, if I'm trying to sort of make sure that I end up with the top, I can just press the V key and see, yep, they all line up. That's all good. And so what we want to do is we want to have the shakers, which are these things in through here. And so if I just go back up the top here, I'll just sort of start to build the first part of the factory. So I want to have sand coming in and then being shaken down into this location. Now, these only work in a diagonal sense. So I'll just go and place them sort of there. I don't need a hell of a lot of them. So maybe something like this. And so that's going to then shake wet sand into the system that we actually have. We also then have actually I'm going to have to, this is a little bit tall. Let's just get some of these things unlocked really quickly. Let's just go back into the digger again, and I'll just go and grab some wet sand from around in here. So this is just normal sand that we actually have at this point in time. I also can, oh hang on, before I do that, I do need to go in and set up the gold intake. So if I just go back into my build queue and go to the economy, the collector, I'm going to make all this into a gold collector back in through there. Actually, one thing I might do is also just go and get the foundation, just so that we don't end up, and I'll come back and delete this again at some point in the future, but I'll just go and leave that one up there a little bit as well. That way the residue will then fall over into this area, which is sort of what I want. Just go back to press number 1 again, and we'll just keep on digging into here again. So I'll just go and dig. So this sand is of no use to me. Like if I go and press number 2 and just get the grabber, if I go and place this up the top here, it's just going to roll all the way down. Like you can see there, actually I missed with some of it. So until we can get the hover, it's actually a bit annoying. But these aren't really doing anything. So I need to go and wet them. Let's just go and throw them in the water. So they're not sort of shaking anything at this stage. They need wet sand in there. So, and you can see the sand is now wet down this way. If I just go and grab that, for example, and bring this one up, it will then start to do its job. And we'll start to see gold falling down. So the gold has now gone into the collector. It only counts when it gets into the collector itself. So, and this is now residue that's been left over. So we get a little bit of gold in the bottom there. So I'm just going to go and throw all this sand into here. And unfortunately, I do have to do this manually. And what I might just do, just so I can actually go and grab it really fast, is just get a little bit of a helper here, just so I can place the wet sand there. Press number 2, and we'll just go and grab that and just chuck it on there. Again, it's just for expediency at this stage, until I can start to automate these different things. Shaking, manual shaking has been disabled to avoid accidental refining. Yeah, so you can enable shaking if you're wanting to. If I enable that, I can pick up the sand and shake it around. And if I shake it around too vigorously, it'll do the same thing as the shakers, but it's by default it's off, which is actually not too bad. Let's just go and pick up all this wet sand. At the moment, I can't pick up water. Eventually, I can unlock things that will allow me to pick up water as well. It's quite nice the way it does work. Like if I go and grab like 1 grain of wet sand and then just move around over the other wet sand, it will pick up and fill up the area. That'll do us. Let's just go back up to here and just go and chuck these up into this other side. And so these will then just drop the gold through, and when the gold actually hits, and we just need to well, we need a lot of these, don't we? So we need to ultimately get to where we can then start to spend some of this gold on what we need. Now the objective is just to shake the sand initially, but our first objectives really are to, and you'll see there that the gold, even the sand is actually heavier than the residue. The residue is now building up way over here. I don't want the residue in with the gold, but the gold is now sort of accruing back and through this other side. So we'll just go and grab all of this, move that one up, and so we're left over with this residue here initially. All right, now that's given me a fair amount of gold. I've got now 56 gold. Let's go and do the unlock. So this is now the research. So we'll just go into T. And so 50 gold will then give me the hover. It will also give me a conveyor belt and launcher. I think before we do the hover, let's go and get the conveyor belt and launcher. So we'll just go and grab that one for starters, and that way I can just get the automation happening a lot more easily. And so I know that I'm going to need to have wet sand in through here. So I've got a big sand pit in through this other side. I'll just go back in and start digging some of these. Initially, it's quite cathartic. You just sort of basically sit around and just dig. So you can just use gravity to allow you to sort of dig down. You do get better. You can move a lot faster as you start to do unlocks, but it's actually quite a relaxing game. As I said, there's no danger in it. Not that I've come across anyway. Certainly not on this first map. There's just one little area there. Just keep it going this way. Oh, there we go. We've got more water over that side. I'll just keep on digging this out, just so we've got like a big area to then go and play with. The hover will be useful fairly soon. Hi Began, how are you going? Boland's saying that gold is nearly useless. It's just a shiny rock that happens to be good for fine wires and electronics. NPS is saying, go shovel hand, dude. It's a like, again, you can see the water we've got limited water. So the planet itself is doesn't make water as such, but we can melt ice eventually and do things like that. So you can see down through here, like with all the sand that I'm sort of evacuating, I can just sort of start. I might start here fairly soon, actually. So what we want to do is we want to go up and have yeah, there we go. So we're getting to the end of this little area here. And you can see there the water stays, the wet sand doesn't sink down into the other sand. So we've got wet sand here, it's chewed up all that water through there. Let's just go now and we've now got the conveyor belt, and we also have a launcher. Now the launcher, if I just go and grab from the bottom through here, I'm just going to go and push that up like this. There's no pause in the game either, by the way, and I did have a little bit of problem with it, but then it sort of made perfect sense once I sort of figured out what I was doing. So if I just go that way, it's going to start throwing whatever's at the bottom here across. I'll just do another one in through here and just keep on sort of, I can push it whichever way I want. I'll just go and throw a few different of these every so often. And I'll just do one more under here. Okay, so we want to throw this into the water, and so I can just get a conveyor belt and just go and get the conveyor belt as well, just to sort of go and churn through there. And again, if I want to see where I'm finishing, I just press the V key, and so that's fine. So it's now just going to move what it's mining across into this little location. We then want to get everything that's in here up into the top. So I'm going to also then build other systems to move this up to the top as well. Let's just get up there and get it prepared. So we need to go all the way up to the very, very top there. Let's just go and designate this one. Whoops. So and I can't quite see it, so I'll just go back down into here. I'll just go back to the O key. I can just get my building block, and so just so I can place an element in here. If I just go and think, this is actually probably where I want to be coming up from around about here somewhere, I would guess. Just place a single block there, just so I can see that that's actually where the launcher will end up being. And so we're going to end up with a conveyor belt that then goes across to this. So we'll just go and get the conveyor belt. And again, if whichever direction I push the conveyor belt in will then be which direction the conveyor belt is. Just press the V key. Are we on the right spot? Yeah, we're on the right spot there. All right, I'm just going to go and delete this one here. And so I'm just going to go, actually what I'll do is, I'll do the deletion, which is just the X. If I go and click on over the top and click on delete, it goes. There's no resources we have to worry about. So in that sense, it's actually very, very cool. Now again, the launcher, I'm just going to go and start to build some launchers. I'll just press the V key again, just so I can see where that goes. And so I'll just go and place a launcher up this way. And so I'll just have it sort of so that it comes, whoops, so right clicked. So I want that to sort of end up being about in here. And I might do 2 levels of this. So I'll just go and build a second one this way. And again, oops, hang on. If I can't make it, oh yes I can actually force it this way. There we go. So we'll just go and do that. That way we've got 2 areas of these launchers coming up. And I'll now just go back down and just join up the rest of the launchers with this. And so that should work out okay. And again, I'll just press the V key. So I want to have it sort of coming in from in here and up into this location. And it's now going to start to push the sand up. And it's wet sand in here at this stage. So it's all just now flying up. It's on that conveyor belt. Conveyor belt is coming back through. Some things are falling off at the top here. Because that conveyor belt's not actually working, is it? Why is that not working? That's strange. Again, if I've got things a bit screwed up, I'm just going to go and place an area underneath here. I can sort of have things come back down where I end up with. Oh, that's not going to quite do it. I always get this. I always find this one hard to set up diagonals. Come on. I don't know why that conveyor's not working. What I might do is I might just go and raise it a bit higher, just the launcher. And we'll just have it so that it comes back out this way. See how I've gone over the top there? I've actually missing these for still throwing it out. We are now getting a little bit through the shaker. If we now, again, this conveyor should be working. I'm not sure why it's not working. If I go across to just get rid of some of these things, so if I just go and set up a different area through here, if I press the control key, I can actually then go and replace. And the control is actually quite useful for just fixing things up. So if I go this way, I'm essentially replacing these little areas in through here, which will then make it work a lot more effectively, like that. So that's now sort of working. We're now getting all this residue sort of disappearing. The gold is coming in. We are losing a little bit of gold. So I'm just going to get 2 back in through there. But our conveyor is not working at all. So I'm just going to go and delete that. Just going to press X and delete the conveyor belt. And now we're getting sort of all sorts of things in here that we don't want. Let's just go back to another conveyor belt. And I do want to, that should be automating. That's going to at least stop it from getting through. I can now just press X and just get rid of all of this stuff. There we go. And we did miss a little bit of gold coming down the bottom here. I'm just going to go and grab number 2. And come on. Just get the gold and chuck it in here. Now you can see there that we're sort of, the sand here is actually not, is now sort of running out of things. So I can actually just go and we're getting residue now coming in here, and that floats on top of the water. And so the residue that was supposed to be sort of flying back over this other side is now being caught in our mining operation. So I want to actually collect the residue. So I'll just go and create like another big area in here for residue, just so we can sort of end up with that as well. We're going to need to make use of it at some point. So the residue is essentially also just going to be still coming back up again. So we end up with some residue coming through our system. We've got some gold in there as well. I'll just go and grab that gold. Let's go and just get the next little thing with the next unlock. We've got 483 now, and we're still nearly halfway through this shaking of the sand that we need to go and do. Actually, I'll just go and get rid of the sand, get rid of this, because we don't want to have this anymore. I'll just press X and we'll just go and delete all of that stuff. So essentially we need to just keep the factory going. So we've got, and I'll just get X and delete that one as well. And we still have a little bit of gold up there. That's wet sand. I'll just let that one sort of continue across. Don't know why this is not working. That should be pushing it over. A bit unsure about what's happening there. Let's just go back to research now. So we can unlock the hover for 50. I've still got 450 here. Back in through here we have a filter. This is extremely valuable. We'll go and grab that. I can unlock the sprint boost if I needed to. The map, I will actually go and grab the map for now. We've got 100 left over. This one here is a flare gun. Not really all that valuable, but down through here we do have wall lights, which I would like to get to as well. So we've got all that stuff. Now we still need to get to this extra, to unlock level 2, we need to get to this other side. So let's just go back across into here and just keep on digging what we need to be digging in through this other side. Now the conveyor that we had built in through here is actually not quite, it's like it's one level up too high. If I just go and press C and then go and grab that, I can go and get it and then I can just move it down. So I can just position things like that. And that's, see, that one's working, the other one's not working. And what I'll do is I'll just go and manually, just to keep this nice and clean, I'll just go back to 2. I'm a bit anal when it comes to doing this sort of stuff. I'll just go and get all the things. You can see there you can have actually materials inside your conveyors, which won't move, except water will eventually. So water's like a bit of an unusual resource. Okay, let's keep it going. So we've got now we've still got residue back in through here. If I just go and throw that in there, that will then just sort itself out eventually. So I can just sort of go and pick up the residue that's sort of floating around. It shouldn't be falling back again from in here. Yeah, that's okay. Residue is now building up in this other side into here. Right, well, let's just continue on building. Now, what I could do is just use what is it, what am I trying to say? I could just end up just using conveyor belts to also just move the materials across. So as we build it, it's just going to automatically just do the factory stuff. One thing we don't actually have is over this other side. I'll just go and get a conveyor belt and just do a conveyor belt from the bottom of this area to just push it down. And that will then just push all of that wet sand straight into the launchers. Just go back to 1 again. Hi Draven, how are you going? If you've got any questions, guys, just do an @DasTactic and I'll then sort of see it. Actually, I'm not sure if YouTube is running. I'll just go and check on that as well. If anyone's watching on YouTube, can you just say hi on the chat just so I know that that's actually functioning? I did rush setting everything up today, and because I was so excited about this game. But it's a very, as I said before, very cathartic, very relaxing game. There we go, Draven saying hi, thank you. So we are up and running. I just don't want to leave any little pieces of sand or sort of like the unprocessed sand around. So this little area here is, we're sort of getting this one all sort of finished. And we are processing, we're up to 3,000 sand now. And that conveyor belt's still just moving sand across, which is fine, which is good. All right, let's go and get the conveyor belts back in through here. So I can just go and throw these conveyor belts across this way. Oops, we missed out where we were standing. So we will now just keep on pushing the sand up. And again, like I've got this little bit of sand in here, I'll just go and grab it. I could probably, I can just add more and more launchers in if I'm wanting to, but in reality, that's all going to be fine. So we've got, it's all pretty clean underneath here. You can see the water is now sort of diminishing fairly quickly, like as we sort of get to this first level, things are sort of happening. So, and you can see how quickly the residue is actually building up. Now, if I press hover and press the space, I can go through the walls. So I can sort of go to anywhere I like. And this is quite a nice little way to just sort of go and check your build queue, what you're sort of then going and doing. We're generating good gold here now, and we will be needing to get like a lot of gold for what we're building here as well. This is just very, very rudimentary. There we go. We've just hit the shake wet sand. So we can now unlock tier 2. As I said before, the game doesn't pause, so every time you're doing anything, there's nothing critical though that stops you. And so got an incoming uplink, we'll accept that. So Miro nice pace, additional tech tree routes approved, good, okay. It's also time to start thinking about your water supply. I've tagged the location of some ancient boiler ruins in your map. So if we have a look at the map, there will be, there we go, it's back over there actually. So that's just off to the side. Exploring them after you've unlocked the flamethrower might give you ideas on how to get cave water flowing to your factory. So we need to go and get, if we have a look, we now need to get burnt residue. To get burnt residue, we need to burn this, and so that needs to be what we need to do. We need 3,000 burnt residue, but at least we've got the residue all in now one big location, which we can then sort of go and make use of. We've got all this sand in through here as well, which is not really sort of doing anything. I'm just going to go and get a conveyor belt from, can I go straight the way across? Yeah, I can. Okay. All right, so we'll just do that. Just unlock. Just get all this sand across, and again, if I just go back to the bottom here and just chuck it on top, that will all get there eventually. And we'll just go and pick all this stuff up. So that'll just keep on processing over time. So we need to click on OK. So we need to get to. Yep, goal, reach factory tier 4 is now the new goal. Why is that one? That should, we're not even at 3 yet. So, next unlock tier 3. Anyway, we need to get the burnt residue. If we just go back in and have a quick look and see what we can do in through here. So we have the flamethrower here for 400. We've got 700, so let's go and unlock that now. I might come back for some of these things. The sprint boost doesn't really worry me that much. I'll grab the flare gun, and I'll also wait until we got this one as well. So we just need to keep on sort of processing. So let's go to where it was sort of telling us to have a look at, which is back over here. And so this here is actually showing us that there's like ancient ruins on where we actually are to then go and this one shows us how to get more water. It gives us some clues. So we'll have a bit of a look and see what's going on through here. We've got a little bit of actually we can. Yeah, we'll go straight through there. When you first start, this is until you actually reach this unlocks at level at this level that we're on now, actually. And so then it takes us down deep inside. You'll see that most of the stuff in here is indestructible. We can't do anything with it, so we can't do a lot. But we do actually have holes in the surface here. Sorry, in what it's doing. And so I can just sort of go back down through. Now this here, another uplink. These ruins show a natural system for collecting water from caves. So boil water into steam and let it rise. Once high enough, it condenses into rain. Use blocks to direct the steam and create a natural rain catcher. So in this case, what we end up doing is, I'll just show you, if I just go across to, I might change the flamethrower. Actually, I don't do it that way. I do it tab. And then go and grab the flamethrower. I'm going to put the flamethrower in at number 3. I'll get rid of that flamethrower. Actually, can I do that? No, I can't quite do that. The flare gun I'm not going to really use at all, so I'll end up sort of getting rid of that one through there. So shovel, grabber, yep, and then we've got the building in through here. So the ones that I do definitely want to have, I do want to have the conveyor belt, the launcher, the filter, and the shaker. I'll just go and replace that one with the shaker. The building blocks we've already got, and that's fine. We'll just leave that one where that actually is. Okay, so actually, can I still get anything else? T. I can go and can only get the sprint boost. Yeah, nothing much else there unlocking at this stage. So with the water, you can see that there's water in through here. And if I press number 2, I can then see what's underneath the cursor. So just if I've got the grabber. And so we're in this sort of like indestructible area where there's fluting going back up through here. It's quite a pretty game actually. Got stone down this way with more water in through here. So it feeds into this chamber. If I just go and grab my flamethrower and start blasting into here, the steam, like the water turns into steam. The steam then goes up into here. It then comes back out the top area through here and then goes up into the sky. Let's just follow it up. We should start to see rain coming down fairly soon. So the maps are quite big, like in terms of the heights. So make use of it for your building. As we get higher, there's the rain now coming back down the other way. Still going up. And And then we should start to hit clouds. There we go. So the steam actually then creates clouds and then falls back down again as water. So we'll just come back down. There it is. So it's now it's now collecting water in here, for example, and then sort of going back down into its own catcher. So we can go and create our own sort of system like this. We don't have to use this one here, but it's fairly cool the way it does actually work there. Does the residue give back water? No, it doesn't. So what we need to do is we need to go and burn the residue that we have. What residue is good for is to create burnt residue, which we then use for other things. So if I just come back up into here, and again, our little guy can't be hurt. Like if I go and start to burn this stuff, if I'm in the middle of this and start to burn it, you can see it's now catching fire. It doesn't affect him at all. So nothing affects him. And he's now, I can just burn a bit of this stuff. Oops. And so this is now condensing all the way down to then pick up like the burnt residue. Now, in this area here, we've got a little bit of a problem. I'll just go back and just get number 2. We've got a bit of wet sand there. I'll just go and throw that in there as well. And we've just got all this residue as well. Oops, did I put that in the wrong spot? You can see there that stuff that isn't gold won't be allowed into this collection chamber. And as we spend it, the gold then disappears. So that's sort of where things actually are. What I can do in here is actually just go and get another conveyor belt and just move this stuff across and just keep on pushing that into this residue chamber. And we'll just go back to our flamethrower, number 3, and just keep on burning it. So now we need to press the burnt residue. This is different again. So this is not just making burnt residue. So we make the burnt residue there. Now again, the stuff inside the conveyor is not going to move. So I'll just go and grab that, just so we can get just for neatness sake. So we've just got this little conveyor belt now at the end of the shakers, who will then just move anything that's left over, and we may end up with sand even in here, which eventually we just need to go and pick it all up. If I'm just going back and try to pick up actual residue, again, once I've got one selected, I can then just go back and sort of pick up as much else. Just go and throw that one in there as well. Whoops. Anyway, this is now burnt residue. So we now need to go and build a different type of building. We need to actually now press the burnt residue and get other resources out of that. So let's have a quick look and see how we do that. If we go into the build queue, we've got the shaker. We don't actually have what we need just yet. So we'll go back into research. And this one here, the kinetic press, unlocks the kinetic press to further process burnt residue into more gold. So we can then get the rest of this stuff into more gold as well. Anyway, that's the this is now the burnt residue. This is as we do the more shaking. Now we need more gold, so we need more sand. So let's just go back in and well, I can sort of go and start to throw this sand across, for example. So let's just go and get some launchers and build them up this way this time. Just throw them up this way. So they'll just keep on building, and then we'll just get some conveyor belts. And again, because nothing costs any money, it's all free. Basically, actually, I just need to go to there, because then the rest of it will just get processed. Whether it's sand or wet sand, it'll still end up in that same location. So I'll just get the machine running yet again. I can't pick up water with this yet. We'll be able to soon. And we'll just get the conveyor belt down here as well. Hang on, just get myself out of the way. Alright, so that's now moving off. So that's just processing. And again, if I don't like what I've got here, I can just go and change it. Now, we can see that there's something down the bottom there. You can just sort of make it out. I'm going to start digging down now. Actually, before I do that, I'll just go and pick up the rest of this sand that we had built, just so it's all going back up, just so we can get this gold up. We need 500 gold to get where we need to be next. Okay, back to our thumping fists. Oops, hang on, where is it? Number 1. just keep on moving across into here. Just start to define where things actually are. We're over 500. Let's go and get the press so we can just show you that bit of it. So just go into T, get the kinetic press. And so this one here now, if I hover over this one, it just tells, so it unlocks that one through there. If I just go back into my build menu, and it's got it here over this other side, but if I go and hover, so drop burnt residue on the kinetic press from a great height to refine it into gold and seed. So we end up with seed as a byproduct of this one. Seed is also one of these things where we're going to end up with heaps of it, and we're going to need to make use of it. Now again, if I'm sort of locked in somewhere, just press space bar once you've got the, where is it? Yeah, there we go. I can't get through the rock, but I can get through my own buildings. So this burnt residue, I'll just go, or this residue. What I need to do is I need to set up a bit of a system to actually only get the burnt residue into this kinetic press. And then we need to have the burnt residue end up going into a system where it actually then ends up coming back into, it doesn't have to be this gold catcher, but if gold falls on this, it's going to that's going to be fine. So we can start to set up like a bit more of an intricate system now for our factory. Let's go across. Just press number 3 with our flamethrower. Just get the stuff burning. So that will then at least sort of keep on burning in through there. We have to sort of also put in contingencies or redundancies, so we pick up other things that don't really sort of help. Hi Joram, how are you going? And hi Sick. All right, let's get into it. So we've got residue, and we also have burnt residue in here, and we're going to need to have that into a kinetic press. If I go to the kinetic press, you'll see it's quite large. Let's go and build the kinetic press above this location, and then we'll just make use of it elsewhere. So I can even just sort of place it in, say, for example, here, and then we'll figure out what to do with it after there. So let's just, I'm going to go and create like 3 of them, and again, they cost nothing, so you can just go ahead and do stuff. We need to drop it into here. Let's go and create a wall. So I'll just go and grab the blocks. So I'm using them on 0, but you know, if you haven't sort of been doing what we've been doing, then you'll have it probably somewhere else. And again, if I just go over, I just press the X key and delete that one, just to keep it nice and neat. So this is now going to be where we end up pressing burnt residue. Now, what we can do here is we can think, okay, well, let's actually now use the filter system to actually only filter burnt residue through here. So if I go back into the filter and start to, this is like a conveyor belt. So if I go into there, so this one here, it's got like sand is the filter that can actually then go and use. The filter I want is only going to be burnt residue. So I'm only going to allow burnt residue in there. So that should be all we sort of see there. And that should be, sorry, if I just go back into select, so C, select those. Burnt residue is the one. That should be there. Do I need to set it up beforehand? Maybe I need to set it up beforehand. In that case, I just press Control with this selected and just replace those. Hang on. What's going on there? It's still not right. I'm just going to get rid of that for a second. Try that again. So filter. Now I've still got to do it in through here. So if I just go back in and press Control, sorry, just move it across, and then just go to the selection. So C. That should be giving me the information. I'm not sure why that's not. Do I right click on it? It's funny, I've been using these and had no problem with them at all. So what's going on here? A filter. Yeah, that's what it is. What do we do here? Alt. I'll try Alt. No, they're still not going to do it. That filter should be functional. If I click on number 1, it's not going to do it. 2 is, oh, here we go. Yeah, so this one, oh, actually I did set it up before. So filter allow burnt residue. That's the grabber. But the filter should be, so it is telling me that burnt residue is exactly what's going through there. I don't know if, I should be able to change it, and I can't think of how, oh, there we go. If I click it again, I then set it up. So I've got it selected, so I can actually then tell it what to put through here. And so what I want to do here is I want to end up with another filter system for seed back over on the other side over here somewhere. So let's just go and throw another one of these filters. So we'll just go in, because we're going to end up with seed coming back through this other location. In fact, if I go in and click on, you can only do one at a time actually. So I can sort of allow a specific thing. So if I just go back in and do like the seed, so this one won't be wet seed, but I'll just do it sort of further over in this location. So I'll just sort of allow wet seed to then fall through there. So that's fine, yeah, burnt residue, seed is what we want, and really anything else will then just go elsewhere. So let's just go and get the conveyor belt, throw that across to there, and we'll just also just get a little bit of a conveyor belt just running into this one here. So only burnt residue will be allowed into there, only seed will be allowed into there, and let's just continue on the conveyor belt back over this other side for anything else, and it doesn't really matter where that goes. So that's possibly going to be residue. If it's residue, I could actually replace this. So I can actually go back into here. Yeah, second time I click it, that's what does it. If I just go back to residue, if we end up with residue in here, let's just press the control key so we can replace this. And I'll just go and place, if residue ends up being through here, let's just go and throw that into there. So residue is allowed through there, burnt residue is allowed through this one here, and seed is allowed through this one here. And anything else then just falls off the end of the conveyor. So we'll create like a seed stockpile. And again, I'll just go and press 0, and I'll leave a bit of a gap there, I guess. In fact, what I might do is I might actually just build the seed stockpile right next to this one through here. Sometimes it's a good idea to leave a bit of a gap running up. With what we have, if I just press the V key, yeah, we're right on the edge there actually. So I'll just go and leave a 1 gap margin and just go and start to position this one. And we're going to end up with a lot of seed as well. Okay, and we need to, well, ultimately we're going to need to wet that as well. Just leaving a bit of a gap, just in case we need to get more launchers and things. So now all we need to do is just move this stuff up. So we'll just go back in and get a launcher and just build it from the bottom here. Again, just press V. So it's going to start from here. So anything that's in there will just launch up. And I'll just get another one next to it as well. Where we get lots and lots of it. So you can see down through here, actually the gold collection, I forgot about that. So I now have all this gold, and I've got seed coming through. Oh, I've screwed up. All this needs to be placed underneath this. So I need to go and select. So I'm just pressing the C key, going to grab all of that stuff and move that down to here. And we now need to allow other things to collect. So we've screwed up. I'm going to have to manually shift all this stuff. Well, it will actually just keep on throwing it up the top here, and anything that's not burnt residue is going to be collected down in this other side. So we need to get any gold needs to then be moved across into here. So if we now the conveyor belt through here is going to have to go through this, which it can't. So so we're going to need to essentially, well, we might have to go and create like another gold location somewhere just to sort of pick that up. Where should we do this? Like it's not going to, it's not easy to move that one across unless I use another launcher. What I could do is actually move all this stuff back up again, and then just have it so that it actually ends up. Whoops! Right clicked. Just go and grab that again. I could then just move it up and then move it over the top if it's gold. So if it's if that just comes back through, I can just do everything going back up this way. So we end up essentially with, that is burnt residue, isn't it? Yeah, that's still going to be okay. So let's just go and get a conveyor belt underneath here and just move this stuff over this way a little bit. And so that's now going to be moving across. It's going to be a little bit compressed. Let's just go and place that in there. So that's all now going to be just going off the edge here, and then we'll do another system of launches. Back up this way. And so now gold will end up going past this. So let's go and make another filter here for gold. And click on it a second time. And so we'll just allow gold to go through. Actually, do we want to do that? Probably anything but gold, really. So we'll let gold go all the way to the end. So we'll just go and do the same thing here. So we'll just go to block gold. That should be okay. Oops, hang on, just press Control. So everything else other than gold will then continue on, and then gold will fall off the end there. So what we can do there is we can just go and create like another launcher and have the gold go back up this way. And then we can get a conveyor belt to pick it up over this way. And the gold is over here somewhere. And then that can just fall through there. So that should work, and then we end up with all of the other stuff. Now the burnt residue ultimately should be falling through here. Looks like we've got a bit of cleaning up to do in here. So if I go and start, actually we need conveyor belts down in through this bottom area as well. So with the conveyor belts, I'll just go and throw them feeding into those launchers. We'll start to now just see if that actually is working. Let's go and get number 2. What have I picked up? Just seed. There we go, getting gold now. Just go and grab whatever gold's in there, chuck it in there. Just go and throw the gold straight in there as well. But ultimately, the gold should come through to here. We're seeing it sort of moving across. A bit has fallen down though. Maybe that was just when we were building. Let's just see if there's anything that breaks. Yeah, there is actually. It's broken there. What I'll do is I'll just go and press X and get another conveyor system. And so everything other than gold, you know, this is gold is heavier, so it doesn't actually. Oh no, that's still working. That's still working fine. So this even the burnt residue is actually not getting. Oh, this is now rising up too much. It's stopping the burnt residue from getting through. I need to stop these right at the level of the of where we are. So I'm just going to go and press X, delete those. That's now pushing it straight up in the air. Now press the, I'll just go back into the launcher. I'm going to press Control and just move it across so that it actually ends up just going to the end of the of where we are there, but it's still missing this area through here. So I'm just going to go and place a block here. I'll just go and press the where I've got the actual building blocks. That way it'll force them to sit, and when they push up, they'll end up just going on there. That way we won't end up with the burnt residue. We've still got too much gold coming through here at different times. You can see we've got a lot of gold being processed. So we'll just go back across into the launcher and build a second launcher up through here. Maybe even a third one. All right, so all that gold will now be collected. We've got a fair bit of it down this way as well. And you can see there we've got a fair bit of gold actually ended up making its way. I can just chuck that on top of the conveyor system. So we end up with a nice, neat little pile. So we're starting to now collect the different things that we're going to be needing ultimately. And this will just keep on processing. It's got seed there as well. It'll end up just processing what we need to do here. We do have some burnt residue, but until we actually get our sand mine up and running again, we're not going to be getting a hell of a lot. Just go and grab all the individual little grains that are down there. There we go, just got little bits and pieces, just get so we can see the conveyor. Alright, so that keeps, this is our burnt residue. One thing the game I think does need is like a way of putting notes on what you've actually got. So so this is like going to be a residue, but it's not converting automatically into what we need. Now we saw there before, what we need to do here is actually replace these conveyors. So I'm just going to go back into the conveyor system and press the control key. This is such a good little tip actually. I was struggling with the game, and one of the Hooded Horse people actually told me about this little thing of using control just to fix things up, and it is a game changer doing that. So eventually what's going to happen here is we're going to need to get burnt residue into here, not just residue. We've got some gold that is falling here. We'll just go and chuck all this stuff. Was that seed? I think it's gold. Anyway, we'll just chuck it down there. Reprocess it. It's all just seed there. If there is any gold, we'll just need to pick it up and chuck it back in there. And same with burnt residue, just so we end up with a nice clean sort of system. So at the moment we're filtering pretty much everything that's not, so we've got all this stuff in here from when we had screwed up. Let's just go and chuck this back over into here. In fact, what we can do is just reprocess it, so it doesn't really matter. All this stuff can just go back into here. Now we're still going to have the residue. Like if we haven't burnt it, the residue is going to end up over here. So ultimately, what I need to do is have another filter system to actually just pick up the actual residue. We can just I'll just chuck this stuff in here while it's there, and we'll just get a conveyor system. We can just reprocess it all if we need to, because we've sort of got now things set up to handle all this stuff. Let's just move it across there. Okay, that'll at least just get us set up. So we now actually have like the seed is now moving down into here, so we're going to be collecting all this seed. The residue is still going to be processed, but not really looked after. Yeah, it's not very clean what we've done here. Anyway, it's a big cycle. It's a circle of life. So we are getting some gold still coming back through this way as well eventually. So it's still making its way through from all that stuff now back down into here. We've still got some residue on top there that we had missed. We've still got some wet sand there as well. All right, let's just go through. We need to burn more residue, which means we need to process more sand. And so this will now sort of start to do different things. Let's just go and build this. In fact, I'll keep that conveyor where that is, and we'll just keep on building more areas in through here. Let's break down now into the cavern layer. There we go. We'll start to get some unlocks. So again, if we want to see what's actually down in here that we're dealing with, I just press number 2. And so this is moss there as well. Moss everywhere, a bit of water. We do have some sand down this way as well. Just go back to number 1 again, and the moss doesn't give us anything, it just gets in the way. So we'll move all that out of the way so we can get our mining operation digging down into this location. And just keep on doing this. Just get it nice and clean. When you just end up with little leftover bits and pieces, it does get a bit frustrating. Again, what have we gotten through here? We've just got stone all the way through this other side. This is now showing something that's a bit unusual. These are often clues as to what to then go and do. How you can then sort of go and set things up. Just go back to number 1 again, and just keep on sort of punching this stuff out. And get rid of this moss, keep it nice and clean. So that there is like a symbol. It looks like it's either plants or like a freezing ray type thing. Now we've got 1,400 gold. Let's go and spend some and get some other things that we can then go and do. So we actually end up having the sweeper drone. This is a cryoblaster, so unlocks the which can produce infinite snow and can freeze water. So we'll grab. Do we want that one yet? Got the conveyor portal here. This will allow us to move things across stuff. That looks quite good. We've got the thermal buffer. This allows us to automatically start to burn things as well. So I might wait until we've got a bit more gold before we grab that one. The conveyor portal, I might end up using that one fairly soon, and I will go and grab the wall light now as well. And the sprint boost, I might as well just go and grab it now while we're here. Okay, that'll do us. We'll just press escape. So down this way again, is there anything else in there? If I just go and press number 2, yeah, just got stone there. And this little symbol here, if we go back into our tools, I'll just go and reset some of these little tools that we've got down the bottom there. I don't need the flare gun. Like the flare gun literally just throws a flare out, so you can sort of see, you know, deeper into caverns and stuff if you do need it. That's that stuff we have to go and get for the upgrade, by the way. But I can just do that with wall lights. So I might just go and throw some of those now. If we just go back into tab and building. The conveyor portal, I probably won't use that one so much. If I just go back into the toolbox again. Oh no, I didn't get the cryo one. That's okay. I'll just keep that one where that is. That's fine. All right, let's go and do some upgrades. So just go and press number 1. And so as I get this one, you can see upgrades unlocked. As I get this material, this fluxite material, is that what it's called? Yeah, this is going to then allow me to then go and pick up extra upgrades. It doesn't leave any residue at all. So we've now picked up 196 of the fluxite. And if I just go into my upgrades, so just press the U key, we found fluxite, spend it here to permanently upgrade your tools. And so in this case, you can see there's some of these, like the material scanner, shows more information about materials when hovering. So I'll just go and get some of this cheap stuff. It wants the grabber to, like we can use, actually what does it want? It wants us to upgrade the grabber. Actually, we've just done that one with the scanner. This is 25 to go and get this one here. Extend the range of the flamethrower. Digging speed would be handy, so I might just go and throw that one in there as well. Extended capacity of the grabber is also good. That's only 25. Let's get the digging speed as well. This will then fill up with more and more things as we do stuff. So we'll sort of be able to then go and see all the different bits and pieces that's actually happening in through there. So with the grabber, this is so 2. I then I can now see what things are destroyed by, how it then sort of works. There's a little arrow, so we see the different clues. This here is ice, which is meltable. We've got sand that we've already created down through here. Let's just go and fix up this stuff. So we'll just go back to number 1. I can now dig a little bit faster than what I could before. Just go and press the space off just so I can use the gravity to go and clear all this stuff out. Now we're going to be still digging away down in this location, doing different bits and pieces. So what we will do is just get some of this stuff now coming back up as well. Just press space just so I can start to sort of do the construction. So we'll go and get some diggers, some launchers from in here. So we'll just go and have them launch. Just press the V key so I can see what's going on. So that one will actually launch from there. Yeah, just put a conveyor system underneath it. And again, because it doesn't cost any resources, like just go crazy with it. So we'll just get lots and lots of sand in through there. We get the conveyor system, conveyor belt, and we'll do the same in through here as well. There we go. Actually, can I do it even in the rock? Yeah, I can actually. So I can go straight on top of the rock. So any sand that comes up in here, now this is, we're also missing a little bit back in through this other side, so I can, does it matter? Not really. If I end up with these grabber arms finishing, I've just pressed the X key, just get rid of that one there. This is missing a little bit. It needs to basically finish right on the conveyor belt. There's a heap of stuff now coming back through here again. Again, just press Control with the launcher selected, and we'll just go back over the top of these a little bit, just to that position there. Actually, I don't want to do it. Yep, no, that's not going to be quite right. Well, it does want to go above for whatever reason. All right, anyway, that's going to be fine. So that's now worked out. We'll just go and get the bigger location. Throw all this stuff up, just so it's nice and neat underneath it. All right, that's got that all cleared out. We might as well clean all this up as we go. So we'll just go back into number 1. Got all this moss in here as well. That's just so we've got ultimately a big work area. We will be sort of making use of this area at some point, I would think. So I don't know what the base game is going to come with in terms of being able to, you know, sort of like what the random maps will end up doing, and what their focus will be. This here is ice, which is meltable. So I can actually go and melt all this. Do we want that down there yet? Probably not. Although, having said that, it's probably going to then open up different things. But let's just go and see what this little arrow down here is showing us. So we'll just go and start to dig across to where the arrow is. There we go. That's now shown us another little passageway. Let's go across and have a bit of a look. This is now showing that little symbol there. And here we go. So this will give us a clue. There's a problem here because I've been here before. When you come through, you've got to try to pick up these artifacts. So I'll just go and press this one in through here. That's actually the goal of pretty much of what we're trying to do here. So if I move across into this location, as soon as I move into this sort of like this pale blue area, it then pushes me straight back up into here. So I can't go through. But the clue here is to freeze it, I think. I think that's the frozen symbol, like to actually create like a frost location. So if we go back, we still don't have enough gold anymore, but if we just go back and keep on processing the gold, and then we'll come back to that location and try to pick up that little bit of loot. And just keep on going and grabbing this as well. I'll just move out this. I'll just get this whole chamber sort of set up. Okay, we don't want to leave any of these little bits and pieces. They will get in your way. Get the sand happening. To know what the extents are of where we're sort of going to be mining. It should go even deeper again. Go back up the top. See those little residue? They will stop you. So they're just annoying. Just look for them and then just get rid of them. There's a bit of a cluster of them there. So we're working with very limited resources at the moment, but the game extends and extends and extends. Like there's heaps and heaps of stuff, ultimately, that we can get hold of. Let's go down and just dig as deep as we can, just see if we can find the bottom here. There we go. So we've now found another whole location. What I might do here is just go and build a wall. Again, building the diagonal walls is a little bit unusual, like in terms of trying to make it so that it fits. And it doesn't seem to want to much. If I go and place that one, no, that's not going to be quite there. It just doesn't want. Actually, I've come back the other way. That's the clue. That's the key. So I can then just do that. That's going to then sort of stop things. We've got all this ice down through here, so I can just go and grab the flamethrower and build and dig all this away. Right, there we go. Just got a bit of more residue there that we just need to chomp our way through. Oh, there's more fluxite as well. More upgrades. At this point in time, looks like we've got ice there as well. If I just go and press number 2 again with the grabber, so that is frost bed, that's different again. This over here is ice, so that's different materials, and then we've got more moss back over here. Over through here we've got Shatterstone, which is destroyed by, not by the flamethrower, this is destroyed by a gun, so we need to do the upgrades for the guns. We've got 168 here again now, so let's just go back across. We're still a long way off processing this burnt residue, but so finding the artifact is now the next thing we need to go and do. So we need to go and process more. Let's just go and get the factory now working properly again. So we need to get the stuff out of here. We're going to need to, just looking at the layouts of the lay of the land here, let's just go and dig this one down a little bit. Now we're going to need to get a, as far down here as we can, and then come back up. So we're going to need to get a launcher that goes all the way to the top here. Well, let's just start working our way back from this point. So we're just going to press V so we can see that we have to get past that area. We're just going to get a conveyor belt, so everything's going to have to come back up to our factory. So we'll just get that conveyor across to there, so that will now be from that system. Just press V. It's one too far over, I think. So we'll just go and press X, delete that one, and now we just need to get launchers. So the launchers are going to have to come back up, and they will, I'll just pause that one, so we're going to have to go all the way to the bottom here. Actually, the wall lights probably would be useful in here now. I might just, did I get those? Yeah, I did. So I'll just go and place the wall lights in my kit. Just go back to building. So wall lights, I'll just go and throw them in where the flare gun was. So number 8. Conveyor portal, I might pop that in number 9 as well. Not that we need it just yet. So the wall lights, just so we can see what's going on. So I'll just go and press number 8 there, and just go and chuck a few of these around the place. Back there as well, just so we can see where we have to go and what we have to do. Just makes it nice and neat. We've got this little chamber as well. I'll just go and throw some in there. There's more fluxite way over there as well. Got more Shatterstone at the end there, and these are sort of clues as to how we have to then progress through the game. So we just need to go and get other things now to launch back past this little rocky outcrop. So the launcher, just pressing V, needs to go past there. So I'll just get the conveyors working underneath this one, and that's as far up there as we can go. Oh, now I've missed the wrong system there. Press Control, and we'll just go and throw this one on the other side. I'll just press X. So that is going to then sort of throw it this way, and then what we'll do is we get another launcher coming back up this other side. So just pressing V, we need the launcher essentially back in through here. So I'll just go and build the next launcher at, well, I can just build it from here really. Oops, let's do it the X selected. Number 5, V. So that still isn't picking anything up. I'm just going to go and grab a few of these now. Just go a little bit taller. Again, pointing back this other way. And we'll just get a conveyor system that then sort of goes underneath this. There we go. So that will now move the sand up and then start to now move it back into the factory again. Now, have we got water at the top? We're running out of water in here. So we're going to need to sort of do more with that as well. Actually, we'll just go and get this wet sand and just let it be processed into more gold. So we do need to get the gold working a bit better than what it is. This is a problem. It actually falls down into here. So I'm just going to go and get the conveyor. So number 4, press Control, That's such a good little tip, actually, to make so that it replaces what's underneath there. Grab that stone, that wet stone there. There we are. And so the water in through here is now running out, and we've got all this other sand coming in, so we're going to end up struggling a little bit with what we're doing through here. I'll just go and set up so we end up with more water coming back from over here. So we can actually just use this water from here if we wanted to then go and sort of create more. Now, if we let it go, we do actually have, we can either make the water flow down across this way, which is possible. Like, we could certainly go and do that. Maybe we just go and do that one. So if we go and once this actually does come, oh, hang on, no, it's not going to quite work. We're going to be wanting to direct the water across right from the very, very start. Let's just go and do it, say, from over here. Let's just go and create like a bit of a zone. And if I, oops, wrong way. If I come back the other way, is that working? No. Doesn't want to play, does it? I really struggle with this. Making it work effectively. These diagonals. There we go. It's got it. I'll just move them down a little bit and just press the X key. And we'll just move this water across. So that will actually I'll need to. I'll end up having to replace this. Hang on, what do we need to do here? 0. Throw that one all the way up. And bring this one all the way down. So that water, ultimately, the steam will then go to there, and it will then drop into there, which is good enough. That's fine. This is just all, so that will then drain back into this other location. Let's just go and process some of this stuff. Just going to get our flamethrower and get all this going into steam. It's now filling up with steam. The water will drain out of there. It's now all going up this way, moving across. Rain is now falling back down this way, running down here into our location. This will then build up. Let's just get our residue back in here again. Now we need to burn this. So we need to keep on making more. Just chuck all this in here. Okay, so that's still just going to keep on working its way back through. So the residue should still now just end up back in here again, where we go and do things. The seed shouldn't be in here. Why is gold falling down? We've got another problem in here. We've got an issue where just things aren't quite working. What I can do here is just go back in and just get the launcher and press Control and just go and build it above there. And we'll just go and now press the this one here and just stop it from moving through. Yeah, so we are missing a little bit here with different things. That should now pick up everything to then filter the residue back out again, rather than valuable things ending up falling down this way. Okay, so that's hopefully will then just sort itself out. We're up to 2,300 now with the burnt residue. And I'll just go back in and burn this again. That's looking more healthy. Looks like sand is what's being collected in here. The sand that sort of made its way through. This water is now filling up quite nicely as we bring more sand in from up the top here, as well as ultimately from down the bottom here. Just clean that up as well while we're here. This as well. Although we'll be digging out the stuff that's underneath there. Need to get conveyors across into here as well, or just launchers really. So if we just go and grab more launchers. If we will need conveyors as well. So that should start to now feed its way up. That's fine, that's working. Let's go and get the and melt this stuff now. Now we've got our gold, so we can actually go and get more stuff. That's all good. Let's go and get the fluxite as well, just so we can do more upgrades. Once you get the gun, you can actually then mine a lot faster. Alright, we'll come back to this stuff. Just got a bit of sand sort of left over there. We do actually have up there, what's that? Steam. Yeah, okay, from when we were melting the stuff. So that's not going to go anywhere. I can actually grab it and just allow it to escape. So I can't grab water, but I can grab steam. So with the conveyor belt, I'll just move this one across now, and just get all that stuff up and running as well. A little bit there, but we'll end up sort of needing to dig out even more of this. Alright, let's just keep on digging a little bit more, and then we'll do the upgrades. Can't wait for the launch of this game actually, just to see what the random maps are like. That's I'm really interested in that. There's just a little bit of stuff there which we just need to clean up. Back over this other side, just keep it coming in. Let's see what's over this other way. Moving it through. Oh, that is the bottom. Okay. Okay, so we'll just clean it all out. Money is accruing. We need to go up and get more residue. Hopefully this is starting to work a bit better now. There we go. Look at all this residue we've got. This is now functioning. There's no residue left over here. The plan is functioning. Still burning. We'll just keep on burning away. Collecting our seeds there as well, which is good. And we've got all this gold now, so let's just go back in and unlock some things. Now this is the thermal buffer, which we can get. We also have the cryoblaster, which I think we need. The sweeper drone we don't need just yet. The flashlight, maybe. It's got 1900. I'll grab the thermal buffer. It also gives me a burner belt. Unlocking the burner belt that ignites flammable materials when fueled by heat through a thermal buffer. So so that ignites flammable materials when fueled by heat through a thermal buffer. This is a bit of a combination. We have to use both of these together. So we're down to 568 now. We'll just go back across. We're slowly getting up to where we need to have all this stuff burnt. Just now got seeds coming back in. It's still missing in here. I think what I need to do here is just move all of this across a little bit. We're going to end up with more stuff coming back in, but I'll just go back into C and move all that across. And can I just shuffle it? Yeah, that's going to then work. And I'll just get a conveyor belt. Looks like there's still stuff missing somehow. I'm not sure how or why. I've got there's a problem in here where things just aren't quite functioning. Doesn't really help. Let's go back into the launcher. It doesn't want to go right on the end of the conveyor. It does want to end up being back there again. Yeah, we certainly have an issue there. I'll just manually sort it for now. Just let the others happen. So with the with all of this material that's coming back through, at the moment it's still actually hitting something that's burning, which is fine. But we can't really rely on that being the case. I'm just going to go and create like a foundation here, and then we'll set up like an area where we can start to then work on this stuff. So let's just go and put that there for now, just so I can actually work down in here. I'll just go and grab all of this stuff and just chuck it across. Again, we're still getting this little problem here. I don't know why that's doing that. And we've got a problem. No, that's okay. That's okay. It's like it overpowers itself. I may need to rejig this whole top section. I mean, it's good. We're still getting good gold coming back through. Let's see if we can unlock anything else. Yeah, we can now do the sweeper drones and also the flashlight. Look, I'll grab that now. Just so we've got it out of the way. We're going to have a lot of gold. And the unlocks, and the upgrades. We've got the permafrost surge, so increases the number of ice particles per shot, 2 per level. We've got the swarm expansion. This is a sweeper drone. Now this one here, we have a vapor blast. Increases the area of water and snow vaporization. Again, I don't really need to grab that just yet. Let's just go and wait until we can get the gun, which I think is in the next upgrade. In fact, looks like we've now done this one. Yeah, we can now unlock tier 3. So we now actually have these, and these then cost more gold. But I think it is the gun there. We definitely want that one. So 1,500 gold is what we need. So that's the. So we need to get more and more mining. We've got more gold coming along. Can just can hurry things along a bit if we needed to. And don't think we're going to get there fast enough. Let's just keep on digging away. Actually, one thing we were going to do here is actually make it so that this stuff burns when it gets down into here. So we're going to set up a few different building aspects. So the first one that we unlocked there was the thermal buffer. So stores and exchanges heat. Charge it with a flamethrower or let it consume adjacent lava, snow. So we can actually make it either cold or hot. And the example there is the residue. It's actually showing how that's then working. And it is actually showing also above it how different things are then sort of working with the cold as well, like where it's actually making it sort of from hot to cold. Unfortunately, we have to keep on coming and making it burn even more. So I'm just going to go into here and going to create like a thermal buffer through this other side. I'm just going to press Control and just go across the top here with what they're doing. I'll get a couple of rows of this. And then for the top bit, we're just going to go back across, just go back to the queue again. And we're going to now use the burner belt in through here and just going to press Control and throw that one across this way. And so that's now, if I heat this up, that will then become extremely hot. If I go and press number 3, you'll see it's 0 degrees at the moment. As I start to blast it, it goes up, but it does come back down. So I need to heat these up a lot to ultimately get the other things sort of heating as well. So we want this to be hundreds of degrees. So just keep on burning them with the flamethrower. It's doing well. Okay, that's just going to keep the heat on this little conveyor belt system now fairly well. Let's just now go and release this stuff. That will start to burn immediately. So because of the heat, this will now, anything that falls down into there will just automatically start to catch fire while that's still hot. Initially, we can't do much else with that just yet. But we do actually have residue also, which has been falling from over here. That shouldn't keep on falling once it's been over this other side. So let's just go and manually throw it back over here. Just get it burning. So we've still got a problem up there where we've got different bits and pieces are still just coming back in. I'll let that one go. But that will, with that heat, that'll stay there for a little bit of time. Let's just go back down. Now that we've got did we get the cryo gun unlocked? Let's just go back into our tools, which is tab. Yeah, we have the cryo blaster. Now I can replace one of these as well. The conveyor belt is important. I'll keep the wall light. I might get rid of the conveyor portal. I'm going to keep my sort of guns and things over this other side now. So that's the clue there, is to freeze this. Let's go to number 4. Can we do that? Cannot use it there. I'm not sure what what it's trying to show us there. What can we use it on? Can't use it there. I'm assuming that's what this is, to do something in there, but I'm not sure. It could be moss somehow to change things. We may have to come back to this one at some other point. If we melt that, what happens? Does it make water? It makes steam. Which does fill up into there, but I don't know if that would be the key. I can't see that being the key to it. Yeah, we can't use it there. Yeah, I can't let go of it even there. So we're a bit stuck. I haven't been able to get that one. I don't know how to do that one. Let's keep on digging. We'll just go back now to the conveyor system. Just keep them moving through. Keep the gold flowing. Right, let's dig more in this other side now. Let's keep on cleaning up these caverns. More fluxite. We now have a whole other system underneath here. We've got enough now to get the gun. So with this, if we go back to the grabber arm, Shadowstone destroyed by, and it looks like it's a gun there. So let's go and now unlock the gun. Just go back into T, research. And so the gun is 1500. So we've got just enough for that one. The next unlock that we have, we now need to go and we need to now grow 4,000 flowers. I find this one a bit annoying, this particular mission, to be honest. Let's just go back across. Now that we've got the gun, I'm going to be wanting to replace the launcher maybe with that one. So just go back into tab, gun. Launcher is still really important. Got the filter, the shaker. The shaker is no longer important. So the gun, if we press number 5, will break its way through the Shadowstone. We'll also do mining a little bit. The gun will eventually become more powerful. So it's pretty useful. There we go, we've made our way into another cavern. Before we have a look at that one, what I'll do is I'll just go back into my upgrades and yeah, rapid fire. So we'll get even more firing from the gun. We've got the extended range with the flamethrower. I'm not sure if I want to worry about that one. Now we've got a, it's pointing down in here where we can sort of see something. It's the mini map. I don't know what it was showing us. This was just that we had to look at it and just activate it there. Anyway, this is, so we're now going to have better ways of mining. We can actually now mine this stuff as well without having to actually be up there. Is that just stone? Yeah, I'll just get rid of the shadow stone. You don't get any materials. This is just to block things off until you do get the gun. More locations down in here. Heaps more of this fluxite. No, not yet. Got 500 odd there. Let's just do another upgrade. Got tracer rounds, so bullets leave a glowing tracer trail, and also we've got velocity rounds, so bullets travel much faster. No, I don't think we need that one. Rapid fire. I think that this one here is going to be probably the more valuable one for us. Let's just go that way. Even more mining. There's another arrow. So let's follow the arrow and see what it leads to. There's more shadowstone. Oh, here we go. So this is another one where we end up with another artifact back into here. And just go and clean out all the stuff around it, just so we know what we're dealing with. Got these little creatures. These don't hurt you at all. They're just little glow creatures. So in through here, we then have another system where we need to do different things. So if we have a look at number 2 again, we've got indestructible on either side. Is there any clues around us? I haven't seen any clues in through here. And again, this is going to be one of these systems where when we move into there, we end up with a bit of a problem. Yeah, so I need to somehow freeze this. Or at least get rid of it. If I grab sand, I don't know if that will help. No, I can't let go of it. It won't let me do anything. It won't let me interact in here. I did do this one. I think maybe it was a different one I did. Yeah, can't use the flamethrower in there as well. It gives you, often there's clues as to what you have to do in amongst here. So these are like clues to get across to these locations. I'll try to find the other artifact before we get going. I think it's on the other side. Let's just move across. Now to move down into the bottom layer, there should be shadowstone. There's lava down the bottom there. In fact, what I can do is I can actually now make use of lava. If I just create like a smallish zone, just so I can start to sort of transport it. I'll see if I can. I don't know if I can do that actually. No, I can't pick it up. All right, so I need to upgrade again. Let's have a look and see. We've got to hardly have any gold at this stage. Upgrades. Grab a hydro sponge. So we need 300 of this fluxite. Okay, let's just keep on digging in that case. Let's try that versus the gun. The gun's certainly faster, isn't it? It's a bit more indiscriminate though. Press space. Okay, I've got enough to get the hydro sponge, which will then allow me to pick up different bits and pieces. So if I just go back into upgrades, hydro sponge, now that should allow me to pick this stuff up. I'll just go back up the top here. See if this works now. Nope, still can't get it. Lava's too hot to handle. When in magma form underground, find another way to transport it to your factory. Okay, so we don't actually have that one just yet. So we can do it with water though. Not that I can grab this water. This is yeah, that's not. We can't pick that water up. We can pick up water that is freestanding outside now though. So we can still transport that one around. Let's just see why the sand. Well, we haven't actually been mining the sand. I guess that's the reason that we're not actually picking anything else up in here. Very limited, but we now need to go and set up, and this seems to not really be burning stuff all that much. Yeah, we're out of water here. So let's just go back and create a whole heap more water. This water in here is finite, it will disappear. That should be enough. We'll start to fill this one up once the sand starts to come back in again. We could mine more sand, back up these other ways. We've been down in here? No, we haven't been down in here yet. Alright, with the gun now we can start to work our way through the shadowstone. The stuff. Okay, we've picked up another 500 of that. Okay, nothing much else going on there. Okay, it does burn away the moss, that's useful to know. Nothing much else up there. Okay, getting a bit of steam up the top there. I'll just use the machine gun. Blast this chamber out. So that thing at the top there, that'll probably sort of, once we unlock some other things, it may sort of come back into being something a bit important, but I don't know. Nothing else really at the top there. There's the steam. There's more base there. I don't think there's much back further here that we can find. So let's go to another cave and just see if we can find ourselves an artifact. Yeah, these little things are annoying. Like, you just gotta just thump your way past them. They just to stop you from moving around. Right, nothing much happening on that side. We do have no water in there, so when we do get sand back in there, we'll be okay. Let's just go down in here. See what we can find in here. What's this down in here? It's all indestructible as well, which means it's not just natural stone. So it's hiding something. Funny, even though I've played this a little bit like beyond this you know, with other things I've been doing with it, I still can't remember exactly where everything is. It will be good to have the procedurally generated maps as well. This one's almost just going to be faster to manually move it. Just chuck it in there. Get more gold. Alright, that'll just keep on processing now. Just going to moving it down. Edge of the indestructible zone. Right, so we're starting to now pick up more gold again. Let's just chuck all the sand across there as well. Let it get processed. And if the residue is not doing its job, we'll just need to get that those heaters back up and firing again. It'd be nice if we could get some lava in around them, that way they'd permanently work. That's still working. Just give them another burst. Oh yeah, they're still very, very hot. So they're still doing a good job. Again, it's not working 100% the way that we would like it to be working, but it's still functioning, which I guess is important. Water again is failing. Let's just go and get more water. It's now almost completely drained away. So this is the end of this water source. I do now have the ability to grab water with that last unlock. Let's put this into steam. And this is the last of this water source. Don't quite have the range on this thing to get the last of it, so I'll just leave that one there. Just let that one come up as well. Ah, look at that, the water's draining away the other side. I need to fix this up. Some of the rain is falling back the other way. Okay, we've got a big lake over here. So, all right, into the desert. What have we got over this way? Again, more stuff that we won't worry about that one so much just yet. Let's go and see if we can find this other artifact. So I will dig straight down in here. bottom of it. Sandstone, okay. So sandstone we can't do anything with just yet. Let's go back to number 1. If we just go back to number 2 again, hang on. June. Yes, this is now making sand. So essentially we are breaking through the sandstone a little bit, but it's not exactly what we want. Let's just go back away to the other side again. Now the water is now filling up there quite nicely. Just leave that one there. Can't get down that way. Just see if there's any other ways through this other side. You've got all this water in here as well. Let's go and melt this. And that will then go up through there and create like another steam vent, which will then be exactly where we want this water to ultimately be. Let's get more of the fluxite. Three. This is it. This is the one. I think we'll call it quits once we get this one done. So there's an artifact there. This one is an easy one to do. You can see down there it's giving a clue. The symbol is fire, and so it's actually telling us what we need to go and do. So it looks like we need to burn this, which then opens up all this stuff. Burns this. Unlocks this. This then comes back down and freezes this. Once that's frozen, we can now walk across this area. So that's now been happened. If we just go back across and just press number 1, this is snow, and now we have ice. So I can now move across, and I then get the artifact. So the artifacts, the little puzzles for you to sort out as you actually play the game. And then once we get an artifact, we can then sort of do like different upgrades and things. So we've got the augment forge, so create a scalable augment. Not sure what that one does, and swift +1 movement speed. Can we get both of those? Yeah, it looks like we can. Can't get any other bits and pieces just yet. So anyway, these are sort of like other artifact unlocks now that we end up getting. So this little location in here has now been sorted. So with the sand, it's allowed us to then move through. So that's the clue as to what we had to then go and do. This is the only one I've been able to figure out at this stage, but it's pretty cool the way it does work. So this one over through here, I think is saying ice. But then how do we do that if we got the number 4? Because I can't fire from in there, and I don't think I can do anything up this way. I don't think I could try. Does the steam still stay there? Yeah, the steam's still up there. Maybe the steam might even melt that. If we just do this and then try this, just see if we can sort of figure out a way. Will the steam create another way through for us to grab another artifact? That's Shadowstone. No. Nothing we can do there. Steam is it filled up there at all? Hasn't really done anything, has it? It's not affecting anything else up this way as well. Yes, I don't know how to get this hold of this one. That looks to be the clue is to somehow freeze these. Yeah, we do have steam there. It's all steam in there as well. I'll see if I can fill this whole thing up with steam and just see if that actually does anything. Maybe I just haven't gone far enough. Or maybe we actually have to fill up an area in here. Let's just go and build this here. And then just try making snow, making the frost in here. No, we can't do it. As far as it goes. I'll just get rid of this. This is now filling up with steam though. Doing anything. Doesn't want to play, does it? Not sure how we do this. Yeah, very much an unknown for me. And all of this stuff is all indestructible, I think, everything around it. We now have the steam in there, but that's not going to do anything. Yeah, no, I'm not sure about that one. Anyway, we got one of them, and I will have to leave it here, guys. So thanks for watching. But this is a game I'm really looking forward to coming out in a week's time. Be interested to see what the random maps are like, how they work. This is definitely a curated map. But it's a pretty fun little game. Like, there's a lot going on. We haven't done any of the flowers yet. Like, you've then got to, unlock building blocks, locations to sort of then end up having wet flowers and so on and so forth. So you end up needing to create like another little factory system for getting the flowers, and then you can actually then chop the flowers down to then create other things as well. So it's pretty cool the way that sort of does work. Again, we've got more things in here that we can be sort of exploiting if we needed to. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow if you're around.